I'm Howard Bragman. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Gwissues. Today we're going one-on-one with the legendary comic writer and comedian Bruce Vilanch. How are you, Bruce?
I'm one-on-one.
You're, just like yourself.
One-on-one, I want to play that game. We don't have to pay any rights for any songs that we do.
I know.
We can do one of those Carol Burnett medleys, 25 minutes.
This is news. This is true news, damn it. We have the Academy Awards coming up. How many years did you write for the Oscars?
23 years I wrote on that thing.
How many? I'm sorry?
23. I wrote 23.
Wow.
And I may do more. Who knows? I'm taking a sabbatical this year.
You know, as a regular and conscientious Oscar viewer, I guess I'd like to ask you three things, okay? First of all, what was your favorite joke you ever wrote for the Oscars?
Wow. I could give it, you know, that's a tough one because I never think in those terms. So, favorite, there are probably jokes that didn't get on the show, you know. But
what's your best joke that never made it to the show?
Well, it's kind of an old reference now, but there was a year that Billy Crystal was hosting, and we had Richard Gere presenting. And there was a movie called An American Tail, which was about Fievel the mouse. And we were going to say Richard Gere was going to present tonight with Fievel, but Fievel backed out.
And they wouldn't let you do that?
No. No, they did. They thought it was really subtle. And even the network censor, Mrs. Futterman, who looked the way it sounded, cleared it. But we were sitting there watching the audience, and you know, at the Oscars, like there are 14 camera crews running around in the audience, and they're looking at. And if you're sitting in the audience and you see a camera guy come up to you, you know that there's about to be a joke about you, unless this is your category. And Richard was there; he wasn't nominated, and here's a camera guy creeping up at him, and he thought, "Uh-oh, there's going to be a joke." And I think he knew what the joke was going to be because that's all that was in the papers. The Richard Gere gerbil rumor at the time was all over the place. So we were looking at him, and all color drained from his face. And Billy said, "I can't do that joke." He said, "Look, he'll die. He'll have a stroke right there in the scene." So we cut it out, and we felt morally superior.
It's really easy. We all sit there and we watch the Oscars and we go, "That's not funny. It's not paced right." What do people need to know about producing that show?
Yeah.
You know?
What do they need to know? They need to know the classic Johnny Carson line, which is it's an hour and a half of entertainment spread out over a 3-hour show. The problem is the Academy makes you give every single category on the air, whether you like it or not, and nobody cares about documentary short subject or sound effects editing. Nobody but the Academy cares about it, and they'll never cut those until the ratings drop to a sufficiently low level that they're going to have to. So you're stuck with all of that. And by the way, the network doesn't mind those things either because it stretches the show out and they get to sell more commercial time. So that's the pacing problem, is that you've got all those awards to give out, and most of them are to people who no one's ever heard of. You know, the Golden Globes gives out 24 awards, most of them to actors. So you get a steady parade of famous faces. The SAG Awards are only to actors. So you don't see anybody up there who you don't recognize unless you never go to the movies or watch TV.
You know, over the years, a lot of our mutual friends have produced the Oscars. Why does it always seem like there's some gay guy producing the Oscars? What's that about?
Well, who watches the show? Gay guys and women. You know, why is there no gay guy producing the Super Bowl? Because we haven't climbed in there yet sufficiently. Because it's a spectacle, and it's about fabulous dresses and movies, and that seems to be our turf. But it isn't always, you know, a gay guy. I mean, Gil Cates holds the record, and he produced, I think, 17 of them, and he was really straight. I mean, not in a bad way. I mean, he was just like, you know, straight. But he was certainly, God knows, gay friendly. I hugged him a lot. But there, I think as you get to the younger generations of them, there are more out gay guys. There probably were a whole bunch of closeted gay guys who produced the show in the past. But now people are out, so we know who they are.
This year is going to be kind of a change. We have Seth MacFarlane hosting the Oscars, which is an interesting choice. Tell me your thoughts about that.
I think it's very smart because he's got the people who know him. I mean, there are people I say Seth MacFarlane and they say who. They tend to be older. The younger demographic, which they're always chasing after, knows him from Family Guy, and they've kind of there's a cult around him, and he had a huge hit this year with Ted. So the general public knows him more than they did before, and he's doing a lot of TV appearances. But what I like about him is he has a proper attitude towards it. He's not going to try and hijack the show.
And I think Seth always has a lot, even the opening of Family Guy is a big musical production number. He likes classic Hollywood. He loves music.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of
it with Craig Zadan and Neil Marin, who produce musicals.
And we have a lot of big music coming up this year, don't we?
They got Barbra to sing. Barbra without an A is coming on to sing, which she hasn't done on that show since, I think, Evergreen in 1975. It's before my time, even. So I don't know what she's singing, but she's not presenting. She's apparently just singing. We're doing a whole thing on musicals.
I'm wondering what her hair will look like. No, I know what her hair will look like. Stop it! I saw her.
It'll be that Joanne Flug blonde. It'll be blonde. She's a Hitchcock blonde now. She's been a Hitchcock blonde for years. She won't be singing a Valentine to Seth Rogen, is my guess. That was not a fortuitous pairing. Nobody wanted to see
moment at her concert.
Nobody wanted to see those two pushy Jews. You know what I'm saying? As a pushy Jew, I can say this. Nobody wanted to see those two pushy Jews going against each other. Billy Crystal and Bette Midler, they could handle, because they were a loving couple. But a horrible mother and her stupid son that didn't seem to play.
No, it wasn't the best pairing, but I think my favorite moment at the Hollywood Bowl this summer when Barbra sang was she answered questions to the audience, and somebody said, well, I have the original ticket stub from when my mother came when you were here in whatever 1970s, and it was $6.95. Barbara's like, it's still $6.95, just add some zeros. So she's not afraid to pack a house and pack her bank account while doing it.
Oh, no, never. Not her. I think she's come to terms with that.
She can handle being rich. So give me a couple jokes of the moment. What's out there in the ether? Come on. What are you
Wow, on demand, huh?
Oh,
I don't. I mean, it's all on Facebook. What can I tell you? I don't know what's out there in the ether. I mean, I truly. I mean, I don't have anything at hand to give you because I'm too busy watching Honey Boo Boo.
All right, so well, you're doppelganger. Tell me.
I know. I want to be Uncle Poodle in the musical.
I don't know whether you look
like version of Uncle Poodle.
I don't know whether you look like Uncle Poodle. General Petraeus's wife or Honey Boo Boo's mother. That was my issue over the last couple months. What else are you working on? It's your chance to plug Bruce Vilanch. What else are we looking for?
Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm performing around, but I'm trying to think of what the dates actually are. I came so ill prepared because my publicist didn't fluff me. But I'm just busy writing and performing around, and as it goes, what's the next thing? I don't even remember. So I'm writing a book, and that's probably as you will remember from when you were writing a book, that I'm immersed in stories about me, and I want it to be different. I want it to be like a David Sedaris book. I want it to be memoir and fiction and a bunch of different kinds of styles, and so it's occupying all of my time when I'm not writing on other gigs. So that's what I'm actually doing. That, and of course, being. I was going to say I'm being online, but I'm not. I'm not one of those. I'm not online 100 hours a day like all of my friends.
Well, enough that you don't disappear. I want to thank my dear friend Bruce Vilanch for joining us today on Gwissues, and you can subscribe to Gwist TV, and every Friday we'll give you new episode, whatever they're called. We'll give you new episodes of Gwissues.
The old issues are the good issues.
Well,
Abandonment,
it's like Playboy. Thanks, Bruce.